Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making a quail watering system. I'll show you some of the stuff that I have and the idea. I saw it on a YouTube video, something similar, so I'm gonna try to use that. So I have this old bucket that I actually had this watering system in. These are like little watering cups that have a little like a pressure valve, I guess. I don't know if that's the exact right way to say it, but what happens is the water pushes this down, which fills it up. Once it's empty, then it goes back up. It's kind of on a spring. So I had this in this old 5-gallon bucket. I took that out and I put in this spigot system, and I used this 3/4, I think, yeah, 3/4 drill bit, and that was a little too small. I actually needed the one above this, but we didn't have it, so I made the hole a little bit bigger with this drill bit, which is a 1/2 inch. So, right, is that a half? Yeah. So that works fine. This is like a shut-off valve, so it turns it on and off, and then inside the pail there is just a like a washer with, or like a rubber washer on the inside and the outside, and then you just twist it on. So really simple. That's as far as I got. This will actually sit on top of my quail cage. I'll show you this. So then I'll show you this, and then I'll show you what I did so far. So I ordered these cups. So the same concept, they just automatically fill. They have a flat back so that they actually sit flush on the fence. And then they came with this little plastic, I guess it's a screw, and then like a little wing nut. And so that will go, I'll show you. So that would go through the fence. So that would go through the fence, and then it would connect with the washer or the wing nut. I'll show you on the fence. I have one actually set up. And then there's a tube. I have a PVC tube that will attach to the bucket and then attach to these cups. And then I can run these all along my fence. And what they also came with were these, I don't know what they're called. It doesn't say, but this actually allows me to cut the tubing and connect multiple, is it like a Y connection? Is that what it's called? I don't know. It allows me to make multiple connections or have multiple waters on my fence. So I'll kind of show you what I'm thinking. So right now I'm just doing a test so that I'll show you this first, I guess. So the cups sit flush on the fence, like I mentioned. The tube, oh, here's the nut and the wing nut. And I noticed there's actually, I don't know if you'll see it on the camera, but there's actually a little tiny groove there's a plastic groove, and that's where the fence will sit in. That also is inside of here. I didn't realize that till I put it together. It's kind of hard to explain, but there's a little groove. There's the quail. There's a little groove that it sits in to help it stay secure. Then there's the tube that goes up. I ran it back out the door so that the door closes flush. So I ran it back out the door, and then it'll run along here. And then this, I want to say this is it 3/4 inch inside diameter? I can't remember. I'll have to look. So then this pail will sit up here, and this will connect to this. So then when this is on, so this will be on all the time, and then it'll feed into these cups. And because I have extra tubing, I can break this or cut this tubing and I'm thinking of having at least 3 cups. It came with 8, I believe. I think there's 8. Nope, there's 10. So it came with 10 cups. But I'm thinking of just having, so I was debating on putting it on the door or putting it closer to their hutch. It doesn't really matter. I don't really have a reason why it would be better on the door versus not. So I'm not sure. This was just my test setup to see if this would work, and I also wanted to run this hose back out because I wanted to be able to close the door tightly and not have it pinched, which did work fine. So I'm debating on how many cups I want and where I actually want to put them. So that's what I need to figure out. And then I need to cut it. I need to cut the tubing and then put these, let me spin it back around. So when I cut these, this piece will connect the tube back together, and this would divert the extra piece to the water. So I need to figure that out on how many I want. I don't want to screw it up because then I have to buy more tubing. And not that this tubing is not expensive, but I really just want to have it work the first time. So that's what I'm thinking right now. And I'm going to put one inside the cage. So, I'm gonna move you here a little bit closer. So this is that little piece I was talking about. This goes in the grate, or like in the fencing. And then this washer has an opening, and that also goes in the fencing. It's kind of weird, I guess. So this will rest in there. Actually, let me put this in here. Okay. So the only problem with the washer or the little nut or whatever having the slit is that my fencing doesn't line up, because I doubled it up because we had a issue with I don't know what, something was killing my quail when I had them a couple years ago, so I added smaller hardware cloth on top of the thicker stuff that we had. So I might have to trying to line it up, but I don't think that's gonna line up very well. I also need to make sure it's down far enough they can reach it. So all these things to consider. All right, I'm gonna put it here. I can always move it. I think it'll be okay here. So one thing I should mention, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, these are actually made for the outside of the cage. So you put them on the outs. So I'm doing it on the inside. So I'm doing it in reverse. They're made for the outside of the cage. And then you would cut a hole and they would stick their head through. You would cut a hole, they would stick their head through, and they would drink from the outside. I didn't want to do that because I don't want them sticking their head through, just because I don't want to risk them getting hurt, eaten by something. I don't know if that would actually happen, but so I'm doing it the opposite way of what they're meant to be, or how they're meant to be installed. And I know that I'm doing it opposite. So I gotta try to find I'm gonna see if I can show you this. This little nut has a slit and it slides over the wire. Same with this top part right here. It actually sits in that wire, and then that black washer thing, or a nut, or whatever it's called, I don't know. It's just like a plastic screw is really all it is there as well. So I'm just trying to find a place that it makes sense, like that it can rest in between both the mesh, because I have it doubled up. It makes it a little bit more challenging to attach it. Okay. So we're just gonna do it, and if I screw it up, if I mess it up, we're just going to buy a new tube, because you know what, it's not the end of the world, and there's only one way to figure this out, is just to do it. So from here, I'll zip tie that so it stays. I didn't bring any zip ties with me right now. There. I feel like this might be a little bit long. We'll see. I should have maybe trimmed that a little bit. Okay. This one that goes to that third cup that I need to cut. I also do need to push these on a little harder, but I'm not doing that super hard right now because I don't want to get them on too tight and then I can't get them off. So now I keep getting stuck on this fence. But so we're just gonna wing it. We're just gonna wing it. And then okay, so that is hooked up. Okay, so that one is hooked up. These two are hooked up. Now what? Now I need to put in a divider. Okay, we got her figured out. So here's what it looks like. I had to have my husband come save me. This is the spigot. I had it right. I needed one extra cut, and my brain could not do that. So this one comes, so you have your main line basically that comes all the way across, and then from there you have a line that comes down to feed each cup. This will sit on top of the quail cage because of its gravity. It does have to stay on the edge because of this being a little bit longer. So we will fill this up and then it will fill these cups. I think I'm gonna zip tie these just to clean it up a little bit. I don't like how it's like draping out. It really kills my OCD. So I'm gonna grab some zip ties and then zip tie this, clean it up a little bit, and then I'll fill the water and make sure that it actually does what it's supposed to do. So let me take a minute. I'm gonna grab some zip ties and I'm gonna fill the 5-gallon bucket and we're gonna see how this actually works. We are gonna attempt to lift this bucket full of water. Good thing it's warm, so if it dumps on me. I need a shim. This might do. Or not. Shoo it. Shoo it. Let's see. It'll be fine. I'll figure that out later. I don't have anything I can think of at the moment. Okay, let's hook this up. I grabbed some zip ties. Zip ties, cable ties, are they called different things? I don't know, I always call them zip ties. Let's start. Ooh, these might be a little too small. We'll see if we can make these work. Maybe I should have grabbed some thicker, or some a little bit longer ones. These might be okay. I love zip ties. I think I overuse them, but I love them. They just work so good. So, I have the lines kind of zip tied and cleaned up a little bit up here. I need to trim this one. It's way too long. So I'm going to do that. Let's trim that one. Nothing like putting your arm in quail poop. Okay. Will this work? I don't know. I do think I have a leak in my bucket. It's, I think it's actually right here, which is okay. I can put some tape on there, pipe tape, and see if that helps. Otherwise, I might just have to get a different bucket, which is no big deal. It was a recycled bucket. And we're gonna turn this on and hope that's just hope that it doesn't like completely all right, there it goes. The cups are filling. Okay, this one's full. So that one's leaking. I think it's just because I don't have it on quite tight enough. Let me adjust this one a little bit. Or it maybe just ran over. Let's see. I'm also not exactly 100% sure what happens when this freezes. Which tonight it is gonna freeze. This is interesting to me. This one's gonna keep overflowing, I think. I'm not quite sure why. So that makes me wonder. I did see someone say that they can get stuck on the, they can get stuck on this metal and then it like prevents them from I don't know if it prevents it from filling or if it can cause issues with the filling mechanism. So I'm wondering. Okay. This one is not very full. Let's see if I can fix that one. Did that one fill more? No. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to leave it and I'm going to test it and problem solve it. I don't love these cups all the time because I do feel like they don't always fill right. I've had issues with these with my ducks and my chickens. So I'm not overly surprised that I'm having a little bit of an issue with them filling. But I still wanted to try it because I love the idea. I love the thought of this working. These are full. I'm going to just try it and see what happens. I do still have their other water hanging in there. There is a slow leak in this piece. So that's not great. At least I think that's where the leak's coming from. I'm pretty sure I can see it dripping. So I may have to fix that with some, I'm thinking some pipe tape might work. This is how you turn it off. I don't want it to kink, so hopefully that won't cause a problem. Okay, well, there it is. It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard after I had my husband tell me that I was doing it right. I just needed one more spot here that was stumping me. And so we'll see what happens. I like the idea of it. I'm hoping it works. We'll see. And I might, if it does work, if the concept works but the cups don't work, I can always switch to the little metal nipple waters. That's what I have in our chicken coop. Those have their own issues too. They're not always perfect. Sometimes they get kind of gross, but we can try those. We could try those with this same system or something similar and see if that would work. So we'll see. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching me struggle and problem solve. But hey, we made it, and that's, you know, that's the goal. And I'm not afraid to try, so you shouldn't be afraid to try either. And, you know, sometimes it just takes a little bit longer than you anticipated, but we got there. So, all right, I'll keep you updated on what I think and how it works. Goodbye.